All right, so basically, let's just remember what the quadratic formula is. It's right. So basically, no, it's not. It's the quadratic formula is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. I posted that video. For those of you who don't remember, just do that one. Anyway, so we've got this right here. And let's go through one of the problems that we've already done just to make sure that we're all good on how to do these things. So we've got x squared plus 6x plus 8. All right. So the first thing you do, first thing that you're going to do, somebody turn that light off. I'm getting this glare right here. Just hit the button. Okay, that's fine. All right. So the first thing that you got to do is identify A, B, and C. In this case, A is equal to what? 1. B is equal to 6. And C is equal to 8, right? So there's an imaginary 1 here, there's a 6 here, and there's an 8 here. All right. After you've identified those, you can plug them into your formula. So in this case, we're going to have negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 6 squared minus 4 times a is 1 times 8 all over 2 times 1. All right. This is problem 111. So then from there, we're going to have negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 36 minus 4 times 8 is 32. Thank you. All over 2 times 1, which is 2. All right. Then, let me go ahead and wipe this off. From there, we'll have negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 4 over 2. From there, we're going to have negative 6 plus or minus 2 over 2, which we deal with two cases here. We deal with the case where negative 6 plus 2 over 2, and we're going to deal with the case negative 6 minus 2 over 2. Remember, we got to deal with the plus or minus case. This one right here becomes negative 4 over 2, which is negative 2. And this one right here becomes negative 8 over 2, which is negative 4. So these are your two answers. All right. So that was just a recap of what we've gone over. Now, sometimes we don't get nice, fancy answers like this. We don't get beautiful answers like this. So let's cover theorem 4.41, which says that if x squared plus 6x plus 2 equals 0, then x equals negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 7. You can't see that, but plus or minus the square root of 7. All right, so let's work this one out. Remember, our quadratic formula is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, so now let's plug our, what's the step one? Identify the a, b, and c. In this case, a equals 1, b equals 6, and c equals 2. Y'all follow me so far? So then we're going to plug all of these values into our formula here. We'll have negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times c is 2 all over 2 times 1. Y'all following me so far? All I'm doing is plugging in values. All right. Then from there, we will have negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 36 minus 8 all over 2. Yeah. So from here, I'm going to put it kind of over here to the side right here. And so here we're going to go negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 28 over 2. Now, here's the deal about that. 28, is this a perfect square? No. So we can't just automatically take the square root of that. Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go 28. We'll break that up into 4 times 7 and then 2 times 2. We've got a pair here. Once again, they get married. They come out of the radical. And so you end up with negative 6 plus or minus 2 root 7 over 2. Now, the beautiful thing about this problem is both 6 and 2 are divisible by what? 2. So this ends up being negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 7, because negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. 2 divided by 2 is just going to leave you with root 7. And that's it.